Hi, how you doing? This is Moshe Morris from SEM Basics. Welcome to our series of tutorials on how to evaluate backlinks. This is something that's very important to do and to know how to do, because one of the most crucial things that you can figure out before you start building links is what type of links you should be going after and which ones you should be avoiding. So let me start with a little brief introduction here, and I'll expand that introduction a little bit in the slides to come, and then I'll spend some time showing you how it is that you go about evaluating whether or not a link is worth your time, effort, or money. So first point I just want to make as a little bit of introduction to this class is that some links will help your site, but other links will hurt your site. This is something that you have to realize right away. Not every single link is helpful. Not every single link is quality, and there are links out there which will hurt your site. One of the things that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to figure this out. You want to learn what kind of links you should spend your time pursuing. This is something that is crucial. That will determine, in a large extent, how successful you are at link building. Once you kind of figure this out, once you have some sort of idea of what type of links they are and where to get them, you can then start to put your efforts into the methodologies, the tricks and techniques that you have to use to actually get those links. That obviously we'll cover in a different series. But right now we're focusing on this, the initial step of understanding what it is you're trying to go after. Now, another point I want to make briefly here is that link building takes time, and that means that you've got to be careful because you don't want to waste your time. You want to use your time very valuably. There's a lot to do when it comes to marketing your site online, and one of the keys to success is being efficient with your time. Right, as I pointed out, you want to maximize the effectiveness of your link building campaign. Well, part of that means taking advantage of the time that you put into it and making sure that you don't waste it. The better you're able to learn about this, what we're talking about here, which links are helpful, the better you'll be able to use your time and the more effective you'll be at link building. And of course, this all depends on your ability to evaluate the quality of a link. So with that said, let's go on. Let's understand a little bit better what we mean by a helpful site and what we mean by a hurtful site. And then we'll spend some time actually talking about how you actually do this, how you actually evaluate the quality of a link. All right, with that said, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, before we go into the nitty-gritty details of evaluating backlinks, let's just talk in a general sense of what links do you want to avoid. In general, any site that has a poor quality site, these are sites that, here we go, poor quality sites. Sites that the content's shady, the look is shady, it doesn't fit in at all with the theme of your website or the clientele that you're going after. Stay away from those sites. Obviously, also, drug, gambling, and pornography sites. Those don't make good backlinks. They're only going to damage your rankings in the search engines. You want to stay away from those also. But furthermore, you also want to stay away from sites that link to poor quality sites or that link to drug, gambling, or pornography sites. Those sites also, they've put themselves in line with a bad kind of group of sites, and you don't want anything to do with them. And finally, if there's sites that are going to damage your reputation or your credibility in your industry, well, stay away from those. Even if they can bring you some sort of traffic, but your reputation is much more valuable than any particular backlink that you can get, and you want to be very, very protective of that. So those are links that you want to stay away from. Now, let's take a second here and talk about sites that you want to actually get links from. Well, obviously we're going to go into greater detail than in this particular slide, but in short, you want to get links from sites that are topically or thematically related to your website. Those are good links. Those are, in the real world, that's the kind of links you'd want to get also. If there weren't these search engines, you'd be interested in those links. Furthermore, you want to get links from authority sites. These are like the big players in town. Again, in the real world, that's what you want. Like, let's imagine, you're a kind of a mom and pop brick and mortar store, right? And you sell, let's say, clocks, handmade clocks. So, who you want to go? You'd like to go around town. You'd like to go to other stores and ask them to put a flyer for your shop in their store. Well, where are you going to go Are you going to go to a wallet store? Are you going to go to a plant store? Are you going to, maybe you're going to go, where would you be interested in? Perhaps like Home Depot. You'd like Home Depot. That's like an authority website, right? That's an authority store. You'd love to have on the bulletin board in Home Depot something about your clocks, because people there might be interested in your clocks. Or maybe an arts and crafts store. That's also a place. Or maybe a hardware store even. Places where people are thinking, they're fixed up their rooms, but they might think at the same time, oh, it'd be nice to have a clock in our nice, fixed up kitchen or something like that. I mean, this is how you would think in the real world. If it's only, and that's how you should think online also. It's true, there's search engines. You have to worry about the search engines. That's why we're spending so much time on linking in the first place, because the search engines put so much preference or importance on it. But nonetheless, the search engines want you to think like the real world, and so you're going to have to play their game. And therefore, you're going to have to go and find these sites that are related, topically speaking, to and thematically speaking, to your business. And the authority sites, the big guys in your industry, you wouldn't want to go and just say put an ad in the Gap, even though that's an authority store for a different industry, because there's really no connection. That's why Home Depot or Office Depot, those would be excellent places, because there are authority websites that relate to your authority stores that relate to your store. So you want authority websites that relate to your websites. Although oftentimes any kind of authority website is certainly somewhat helpful. It won't hurt to have it in the Gap, right? It won't hurt to have it in a website that doesn't relate. But you got to first and foremost think about your niche. Finally, you want to get links from sites that can provide you with direct traffic. As I've been pointing out already a little bit, it's not just about the search engines. Websites can and do provide traffic to your site directly. Well, you want to take advantage of that. Those are valuable links to get, because they will send you quality traffic.